Hey, hi. I think I'm ready to get going, hopefully. So this game, Before Your Eyes, looks super cool. It is a game that is controlled by your blinking. That's how you like progress the story and everything. And I just think that looks super cool. Hopefully the volume is okay. It looks okay. But yeah, let's just go ahead and go. Just go ahead and get into it. Okay. Just gotta. Yes, this game does need to use your webcam. I think that's how it tracks. I booted this up probably, oh god, it was probably 6 months ago. And uh oh hey, here I am. Hey, hi. With your camera enabled, pay no attention to the mess behind me. This is basically just like, yeah, we're capturing the footage, but only to track your eye movement. Okay. I'm not wearing glasses currently. And hopefully this works. Hopefully this is evenly lit. I don't know how good I am gonna be at looking at chat. I missed like one. Okay, that was pretty good. Okay, all right, let's go. I hope I properly this is a game about blinking. Oh, that's weird. Clicking on the white symbol. Ah. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, I hope I got everything set up as far as like audio and video wise, because I probably won't be looking at OBS again for a while.
That's mine. Well, hello there, stranger. Ooh,
Hey,
you're a
hi.
real bright and shiny one, aren't you? I asked you for your name, but sadly you got no mouth to speak with, or
Yeah, no
hands
body.
to shake with, or nose to look down with. So we're gonna have to find another way. See, what you'll find is, even though you're no longer in your body's still inside of you. If that makes any sense. So, if you understand what I'm saying, blink over my hand here.
I think I got you.
Ooh, well look at that. You're a blinking genius. I knew you were special. You see all them poor souls down there, lost in the waves? I didn't choose any of them. I chose you. See, I just sometimes get a sort of a hunch, or what's a better word? Notion? No, better word than that. Premonition. A premonition when a soul's worth pulling up. Now you see that tower out there?
Ah, yeah.
Big, scary one? That's where I'm taking you to see the gatekeeper, to be judged. I'm gonna present your case. Tell her the whole story of your entire
Am I
life,
dead?
from prow to stern. Now, if she's impressed, I get paid the Bitcoin, and you get yourself a spot in her magnificent city. If she ain't, well, I eat seagull for dinner again, and you, well, we don't have to worry about that, because I am the best orator you'll find on these sickly waters. Class A storyteller, believe you me. Oh, shut up, you trash birds. You had your chances. It wasn't my fault you were no good. Layabouts. Unsatisfactory. Clock watchers. I got some words for you. Sorry you had to hear that.
It's all good, man.
So sure, maybe I'm not the most verbose storyteller out there, but I know how to spin a yarn if I'm given something to work with. And that's where you come in. Your life. You're gonna show it to me. I want to see exactly what made you so absolutely great. So, just think back to the very beginning, the first thing that you can remember. I'm gonna send you there. But understand, no matter how much you like it, you're not gonna be able to stay, all right? Every time you blink, you're going to jump forward in time. Could be a second, could be 5 years. That's just how this thing works. Alrighty then. I hope he's ready for this. Now, the next time that you blink, I'm gonna send you back. Now, don't be afraid, and don't try to fight it. The thing to remember about blinking is, well, it's only a matter of time.
I want to see everything.
And just try to enjoy it this time.
Look at that sun. We've got a long, beautiful day ahead of us. Why are you smiling like that? You must really like it out here, huh? Well, I get that. I like it too.
Yeah, I think I just need to chill out and be okay with with blinking.
Let's go get you some seashells. What do you say?
You see that big spiky plant over there? That's called an agave. 11 years from now, that plant will die so it can give birth to this tall, amazing tree covered in flowers. We'll have to keep.
Ah, man.
The day really slipped away, didn't it? Oh well, days have a tendency to do that, I guess. Where's the first page of my piece? I can't find it anywhere. Did I put it in here? No.
Nice. This is really cool how, like,
Kid. Look
Man, life really does just kind of blink by.
We have to make him do this every birthday.
That's a great
Roll.
idea. You know, it'll really be something to see how he grows. Man, the zoom on this thing is fantastic.
Oh, you want to play along with mommy, don't you?
No. I'm gonna have to go through and watch all the scenes because I want to see everything.
Sounds good, honey.
I'm sending it to my mentor next week. It has to be perfect.
Well, sounds pretty perfect to me.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
What do I like about it? I like the music.
That's very specific.
I also like the person playing it.
Yeah, I worry that might have something to do with it.
Look at his little face. What do you think he's thinking about?
Oh, clouds.
Probably solving the problems of the universe.
My boat. I miss my boat.
So, do you think he's going to be smart?
I don't see why not. We're both pretty smart.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's going to be. Necessarily.
No, it's not derivative. At least I didn't think it was. Do you think you could tell the other members of the selection committee what I just told you?
God, I love that boat.
No, I'm sorry. I guess I just put a lot of expectation on this call. Okay, I understand. Thank you for considering my piece, John. It really means a lot.
Oh, that's sure a little mess of color.
Hey, we do not throw things in this house. If you're mad that you aren't good enough yet, you'll just have to keep working at it. You know, one day you'll be able to paint exactly what you have.
See? That used to be my piano. My dad gave it to me. He loved music. Fled his home country just to have a chance to pursue it. God, he made me practice so much. I hated it at first. I think he hoped to make it further than conducting the high school choir. Never said anything, though. He was what you might call the strong, silent type. Can you believe I grew up in the snow?
Okay, Benny. Are you ready to see something really special?
I just don't want him to get attached. Richard,
What?
that's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
We can't keep him, can we? I mean, I'm pretty much definitely allergic, so no, right?
No. We'll find someone to take him.
Now play the C major chord I taught you. Remember? There you go. Doesn't that make you feel happy?
I don't think that was C
Just wanna jump
major,
up
but
and down?
it works.
Now what about C minor? You remember how to play that one? Very good. Just
Yeah.
one note different. But that one sounds sad, doesn't it? Amazing what a difference one little change can make on how a person feels.
I love this cat.
Sort of like me and your little friend on your piano there.
She was in grad school studying composition. I never met anyone like her. I just prayed to God I could somehow keep up. I think she liked that I was a professor. Gave me a certain gravitas in her eyes, you know, which I very quickly lost. God, she dragged me to so many places. It was wonderful.
I tried to do an extra hard blink so that way I could keep my eyes open, but that just made me want to blink more. Gotta move to the big piano.
Wait, that's my piece.
I was gonna try to play Megalovania, but I feel like that may have ruined the mood.
Hearing this?
What?
He's playing my piece. He must have figured it out by ear. I mean, I was a gifted kid, but he's brilliant. We need to get him into serious piano lessons.
Yeah, sure. But, you know,
Oh God, I have my interview in 5 minutes and I completely forgot to feed him.
Don't worry, I already did.
Oh, thank God. For a moment, I forgot what a great father you are.
Just focus on the interview, honey. I got this.
Excuse me, of course, sir. It's all organized into folders.
Oh, such a big
sitting ready
kitty.
on my kitchen table. They will literally be on your desk when you get in. What could possibly happen to the files between now and tomorrow morning? We are fine.
Oh no!
when's he coming?
I'm flying him out in February, remember?
Not on the table.
You know, I think he was pretty
Kitty.
surprised that I could actually afford to do that.
Hey, why not? You're a working woman now.
Do you think?
I guess that's true.
Don't let it go to your head, but yeah.
Please let the cat know. It's time to use the litter box, though.
Baby steps. He's got one eye.
He can
This
go
is
wherever
called a
he feels.
metronome. We use it to measure time so we don't get lost in the music. I want you to start using it before Grandpa comes to visit. You know, my father once told me, when I was about your age, the only way to fight against time is to create a work of genius, which might live on after you're gone. So I asked him, what about your children? Thinking, you know, I might be a work of genius just as I was. He said, yes, I suppose. If you made a work of genius. I haven't seen him in over 10 years. Can you believe that? I wonder if he'll even recognize me.
You really need to stay in time with the metronome, okay? Subdivide the time. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. You're off. You're off, Ben. You can't hear that?
Ah.
There you go, buddy. Okay, now keep a firm grip on it, just like that. Oh my. Well, I don't think you like that, pal. Sorry, buddy. Turn around, Elle, so we can photograph you.
I'm just really behind right now. Why don't you take photos in the backyard? It may not be interesting at first, but if you keep going back out there every day, you'll be surprised by how much it changes.
Ernie!
Ernie!
Buddy!
Ernie!
Ernie!
So you're saying it's a coincidence that it disappears for weeks and then comes back with a huge belly?
But Ernie's a boy.
And you're sure about that?
I was.
Uh-huh. And that was based on? I'm still not understanding how you let this happen.
I don't know. I didn't think about it. It just happened.
You just happened to find a stray cat in the alley. He keeps coloring the grass blue, the ocean green, and then the sky red. Were you able to pick up the new book?
Yes, the Manila Galleon was of particular interest.
I meant any book.
Oh, yeah, got those too.
Any expensive, right?
No, can't put a price on learning.
I mean, they did. And it's stupidly big. I know, it seems impossible that you could ever play something so complex. But just take it one day at a time. Trust me.
Man, piano sucks.
You're really getting there, honey. Next week we'll start working on your other hand. Listen to him, Richard.
Crushing it.
In that competition.
I thought you said competitions took the joy out of playing music.
Not if you win.
Okay.
The quiz said
Aw,
5 to
man.
0, and
Oh no. Oh no.
I want that box full by the time I come in there. If you don't play with it anymore, we're getting rid of it.
Congratulations, B! First of many, I'd assume.
This isn't my house. It's not my house.
Right, it's my house. You have 5 minutes to get down, and I'll drive it back with you up there.
It's not my house. Not. Fall back, you fool! I'll have your heads. I'll feed them to the cat.
Chloe, come play inside. It's late.
Maybe if you actually got me a playscape, I'd want to play inside.
That's not fair, Chloe.
You're not fair. You're not fair. You're not fair. Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Why are you taking pictures of me?
Yes, Mr. Camera Boy, I'm talking to you. Why are you always out here taking photos? You know, if you really want to take a photo of something cool, you should take a photo of this.
Chloe!
Oh shoot, I think I gotta go. But, try to take a photo of me running into my house. I'm pretty fast, so I don't think you'll be able to. But you can try. What the hell? How did he do that?
I'm amazing at both photography and pianos.
Wow, Elle, he's unbelievable. My God, I didn't realize our head of accounting was raising a musical prodigy.
Didn't you used to be a composer yourself, Elle?
No, I don't know if I'd say that.
But you used to write your own music, right?
Yeah, but I haven't done that in years. Not since he was 4 or 5 years old.
The class is world history. My name is Mr. Isaac. The class will be broken up into
Hey, you.
units. In each unit, we will study
Look on your desk. I wrote you something.
learning everything we need to know about these civilizations. Well, it depends. If you're asking Egyptology. This is a quote.
Okay.
I want each of you to write it down. Not doodle on the sidelines, not stare off into space. Okay, now I will go on to the next slide. Chloe, tell me, what did the quote say?
Right, I definitely know this.
You were taking notes, weren't you, Chloe?
Oh, yeah.
Always whisper the answer.
So those who do not remember the past, repeat the past. That's right, right?
Indeed it is. Though I'd prefer you to answer without the help of your boyfriend next time. If we do not keep in
I tried to convince your father not to buy you that thing, but he insisted. Half suspect he bought it for himself. The little guys are pretty cute, though. I will admit that.
What is that even?
Oh, I want the job of whoever gets paid to think of that crap.
Conchsters? Oh, 'cause they're all shells. Conchtestant. Shrimp. Lobster. Clam dunk.
I've definitely seen you next door, but I didn't realize you guys had become friends.
Oh, sure. We sit together in history class. I don't know what I'd do without old Benny.
Very sweet. Thank you for playing this game with him.
Your dad just thanked me for hanging out with you? That's a very interesting detail. Okay, shut up. I really want this one. Maybe I'll use Ticklestick. Whoa, that's a pretty good drawing. You should draw pictures of more different stuff. Not me, though. I'll actually kill you if you try to draw me, and you saw what I'm capable of in your backyard. Benny, why did you draw me? You're not good enough. I look so ugly. Ugh.
It's called a magnet school. It's about an hour away in a town called Burton. I know the change can be scary, but I just want you to go in and meet the dean I spoke with. You know, life can take you to some incredible places if you're really, really good at something.
Cool. Thanks.
So what do you think, Benjamin?
Take me away
You think
from
you
all
could
my
excel
friends.
in that sort of an environment?
Eh.
Sorry, he gets very shy.
Oh, not to worry. If he's as gifted as you say he is, shyness is no problem. Why don't you two come back closer to the end of the year for an audition? We'll get a few pieces that you can have him start learning. I'm eager to hear what your son is capable of. So, I understand you were a musician yourself.
This game is real good at just pacing out long enough.
As you can see, there are some very fast runs in there, and a lot of stuff I've not taught you properly yet. So no pressure. I just want you to try, and we can see if you start enjoying it. Just
just like to see you really rise to the occasion.
This is giving me
Just
flashbacks to like
I wish I had the option of going to
middle
school
school and
like
high
that
school.
when I was your age. I wouldn't
Just,
be working this
new music.
boring job or living in this boring town, I'll tell you that.
I'm not gonna crumple it. That's rude. I wonder if there are any like branching paths or anything. Like if I can choose to just keep crushing it at music. Or if eventually
Don't answer that, Ben. You can talk to your friend after you practice.
like go in all in on music or all in on art. Okay. I was gonna answer, but waited a little too long. Or like if you don't answer enough, you can
God. Is she really
actually like
calling you
lose
again?
your friend.
What, is she obsessed with you?
Okay, now seems important.
What are you doing? I explicitly asked you not to pick up the phone.
Oh, he's fine. Let's talk to her.
Oh, what do you know about anything that's going on right now?
Okay, you know, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't raise your voice like that.
Well, then don't stick your nose into things that you're completely checked out of.
Okay.
Man, did I just cause a fight with your parents?
I think I did.
But you should also cherish these moments. My mom and dad used to fight, and I would always hate it. But
Eyes of Steel.
now I actually
Nice.
miss it a lot.
Of course.
Anubis, in the presence of Ma'at, who you remember is the goddess of truth and justice, would weigh the deceased soul against a feather, determining whether it was worthy of entering into her land of the dead. And what if they are deemed unworthy? Well, you can see that ugly fur ball under the scale? That is
Hey,
Amamet.
Mr. Kid.
And yes,
Over here.
that's a she. The head of
Yes.
a crocodile,
Look at
fur
it.
of a lion, see, and the body of a hippopotamus, though I would not say that to her face. Now, as you can see, she is ready to devour.
Oh no, I'm gonna draw the
any of
picture and
deceased
he's
who
gonna
do
see
not
it.
pass judgment. Sort of like me with your weekly quizzes. So I am not quite sure
Ew,
why I don't
why
hear
is he
more
so
friends
scared
scribbling
looking?
right
Mans
now.
is going
Okay,
through
I'll
it.
call you when I'm leaving my house. You better pick up my call, dude.
Slightly worried about having him change schools just as he's starting to make friends.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only reason she keeps coming here is to play that game you bought for him.
Okay, well, listen, I don't claim to understand the motives of children. But
Benny has a chance here. A real chance to be really good at something. I mean this with no offense at all. But I don't think you actually really understand what that is.
no, I suppose you're right.
Oh, Richard, please. God, why is it like that?
Lights out. You need to be rested for tomorrow. Memory consolidates when you're asleep. So if you go to sleep now, you will awaken a master. Trust me.
Richard, tell your son to turn the lights off.
Benny, Mom says turn the lights off.
Not Mom says, you say.
Benny, I say turn the lights off, not just Mom.
Okay. Big mistake. Big mistake. I don't know. All the times as a teenager when I would sneak out,
In your own
it was never
time,
worth it.
Benjamin, we are very excited to hear.
At least not in like middle school or high school. Whatever grade I happen to be in at the moment. Oh, I'm gonna mess it up. Even I bet if I had like snuck out, it would have stayed small or something.
Why, he's marvelous. How did you ever train such a young boy to play like that?
Crushing it. I wonder if there's an achievement for like
After that, I'm not even
playing
sure
the
I'd
whole
want you back in
song.
School. And I could tell you were having so much fun up there. You rehearsed enough that it felt completely unrehearsed.
What does that even mean? But
Sounds like you really nailed it, kiddo.
It's not a matter of him nailing it. He sounded like a professional musician. At 11
dude, I'm only 11.
That's
I'll
your
make.
mother saying that.
There's so much more time to make other friends.
Professional musicians.
because they're not.
What are you talking about?
Performers, yes. Musicians? No. They are not musicians.
Destroyer Tour, Anaheim, July 81. I'm telling you, Ace Frehley was conjuring spirits.
You should have seen the look on that old jerk's face when he realized what he had on his hands.
You think he was impressed?
Richard! His dentures nearly fell out. His mouth was open so wide.
So what? Kid's a prodigy.
All the stars. Gotta do it.
He sounded
Gotta
pretty
do it.
good. That's all I'll say.
Sounds pretty goddamn prodigal to me.
How many beers have you had, Richard?
Just enjoy the beautiful night, will you?
Oh, I am. Believe me, I am.
Oh.
We should do this more often.
Oh, trust me, I know. With summers like this, we should be doing this every night. Why don't we do this every night?
Hmm.
You don't have to open it right now if you don't want to.
What do you mean? Of course he wants to.
I just don't want him to feel pressure.
Sure. Open it whenever you want, sweetie.
Careful consideration.
What does it say?
Give him time to read it.
Why are you being silent, Ben?
What?
What's it say?
Don't pressure him. He'll tell us once he's ready to tell us. Hey, that's the main thing. It's just a school. It's nothing life or death.
I was the best child there. What are you talking about? Well, here I am.
Home from school for a while.
Doomed to mediocrity.
Just until this nasty thing clears. Hey, Elle, would you mind taking a quick walk with me down to my office? There's a small clerical thing I need you to look at before I can let you two go.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll be right back, Benny, okay?
Well, that was too real.
Such a crucial time in his development.
The specific rejection from music school. That hit a little too close to home. But yeah, no, at 11 years old, there's bro, you got so
This
much
isn't
more
video
time to
game
make
time.
friends.
I want you to figure out something actually productive to do while you're home from school.
What? It's the time to rest. My boat. It is working. Alright, time to art. Here we go.
Why isn't your son eating with us, Al?
No. You mean young Vincent? Well, ever since he got sick, all he does is make art.
How long is this? How long is this lasting?
And Mr. Benjamin Bryn has been awarded first place.
T-shirt paragraphs, describe. That's pretty good. That's a good one.
You are not here to learn to be painters. You are here to learn to be artists. And although I was hired to teach you, it is a sham. There is no teaching art. So don't just sit there slack-jawed. Make art, you ponies!
Okay.
Oh, how very wacky and fun these are.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, it's changing.
It's
Interesting.
very zany, very kitsch. Lucky for you, the world is always in need of more greeting card artists.
I don't know. That's pretty good. It seems okay. All right. What else can I? What else can I grab?
There you go, Mr. Bryn. Feel each shape.
I mean, that is pretty good. I'm.
I want you all to take a
I do
long
tend to like more like abstract
look at
art
what Mr. Bryn
than
has done here.
stuff like that. But
You see, he has reached down deep.
I don't know. This is like a.
Created
That's something you would see for like a money laundering scheme.
I pray you have a strong hold on yourself, Mr. Bryn. For I.
I'm stunned. The ironic sincerity of this piece is so sincerely ironic.
He's flipped the discourse so thoroughly.
Yep.
I
I'm
know
good.
that
I'm
lots
good.
of agents gave you lots of cards, and it all probably feels weird and alienating and the opposite of what being a starving artist is supposed to feel like. But if I can teach you one thing, it's that if opportunity knocks, you open the door. Making a living isn't selling out. I wish I had thought of it that way.
Benjamin! Marvelous show last week. Truly stunning. I've never been prouder. One little thing. A birdie told me that Elba Preston Hoover gave you her card. Now, I want you to cut that card into little pieces and feed it to an alley cat.
Don't worry. You're not selling your soul.
Uh,
Look at that. You've crumpled my contract.
Yep.
To being a difficult artist, the best of us are.
He's gonna be like, well, all right, we're splitting this.
Ah, this is divine.
Can't wait to split the bill. Oh, I'm gonna be so broke.
Honey, stop. Is that
Oh my god. I think it is.
all places?
Crushing it.
I bet you're happy you threw that contract in her face now. You did out, and you still got rich. Oh, but listen to me, Benjamin. Now is the single most important moment in your entire career.
Hey, Ben. Don't even pick up this call, okay? I mean it. I'm just calling to inform you that I went to the doctor today, and, well, I'm gonna be a little sick for a while, but really, I don't want you worrying about it at all. You're at such an important moment in your career, and I'm just so proud of you. This is nothing but a little bump in the road for me.
Oh, she's not gonna be fine.
Okay? So don't even worry about calling me back. Just letting you know. Okay, Benny. I love you.
But that's enough from me. Now, you'll hear from the person I believe was the single thing in the world my wife was most proud of. Her magnum opus, so to speak. Go on, B. Say something. What's wrong? Why aren't you talking?
Hey, you. As you know, I talk to big, very important people every day. And there's one thing that everybody is asking me. What's going on with Benjamin Brin? And what am I supposed to say? That I haven't heard from my star pupil in 6... You are a snake. You are a fraud. But worst of all, Benjamin, you are a little tease.
Hey, B. Just calling to tell you. I think I'm selling the house. She's everywhere here, son. I can't move without bumping into her. And then I just find myself breaking down again. I hope you understand. Take whatever you want. With your mother gone, I'm hoping to finally live without all the clutter. Yeah, I think you did the right thing. By the way, she didn't want you to see her like that. She just wanted you to focus on your work. That was the only thing that mattered to her. What's that? What's so fascinating, son? Look. It's unbelievable, Benny. It's like she's standing in the room with us. Like I can see her in the pit.
Is that really you? It's Chloe, your neighbor. My God, I can't believe this. It's been years. I just walked through the entire show. It's unbelievable. I'd love to walk through it again with you. I mean, if you were down for that. I just can't believe that my entire childhood, I was living next to a bona fide genius. And your mom. I always heard her playing piano from next door, but I didn't know she wrote the actual music. She was a genius. Hey, so, not to be forward, but what are you doing after this? Maybe we could get a drink or something? I'd really love to catch up. I can't believe everything that's happened to you. I want to hear all about it.
Now would you look at that?
I totally forgot I was on a boat.
You finally hit the jackpot, Flapjack.
That's pretty good.
Oh, the nobody nothing's dying every day. You finally sink your hook into a... Oh, well, there you are. Well, hello, sir. If I had realized, I would have cleaned up. I'm just used to fishing up a different class of soul. I mean, sure, I've had scientists, a couple college athletes here or there, but whew, internationally renowned painter? The gatekeeper's gonna eat you up. Hey, speaking of that, why don't we give your story a test run? Maybe you help me out, the word choice, since, you know, I'm still working on that. See if I'm getting all the strokes right, the proper composition, if you catch my drift. Forget about it. All right, here we go. Gatekeeper! Before you stands the soul of a great man. Now, would you describe yourself as a happy kid or a lonely one? His childhood was a lonely one, growing up as a strange, quiet child in an isolated seaside town. And, what'd you say your mom was? A composer or an accountant? His mother was a composer who, with the need to support her family, took a job as an accountant. How would you describe her as a teacher? More encouraging or demanding?
Well, this is one.
Kinda like your champion, or more
I
like
could
a
tell.
taskmaster.
I would. She carried. She cared a lot.
As his piano teacher, she was ever encouraging, teaching him to recognize the greatness within. How about that neighbor girl? Huh? What was she to you? Was she your best friend or first love? Now be honest here. Don't be.
Best friend.
Music
She's okay.
became the only thing he truly cared about, even more than his best friend Chloe. And although he gave it everything he had, he was still rejected from the conservatory his mother desperately wanted. Now, from that moment forward, his mother gave up on him. She knew he didn't have what it took to be a truly great musician. But little did she know, she just picked the wrong medium, right? See, when he was 12 years old,
Wow.
he got sick. And he had to stay inside for an entire year. In that year, he rediscovered a talent he'd forgotten. Painting. Sure, he loved finger painting as a child. Color and shape were the first languages he learned to speak. But for the first time, he saw it in a more serious light. He was accepted into an exclusive art school where he caught the eye of an esteemed professor who launched his work into the national spotlight. But be quiet, all of you. With expectations on his career mounting, he stalled himself into bankruptcy, which turned out to be a blessing, for it wasn't until he returned home to the house he grew up in that he began work on what would ultimately be considered his masterpiece. I said shut up, you scumballs! You mucky fowls! All right! I get it! I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. much anyway. I should probably tell you, those things, they're not regular gulls. They're lyre birds. They're what becomes of souls who try to lie to the gatekeeper. And once they try that, they're never allowed near her city again. I get to feeling bad for not defending them right, so they just stay on with me. Living reminders of my oratory shortcomings.
Oh, yeah, good thinking. I'll be back to get you once I'm done with this one.
Hopefully you won't be seeing him again. You're a flea-bitten sap, you know that? Just look at him. Poor fool doesn't know what he's in for. Now don't think that I haven't dealt with people like you. You're ashamed of something. Something so terrible, you're trying to blink right past it. Because if the gatekeeper knew, she'd have to dream up fresh new hells to punish someone as worthless as you. And I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're the rottenest soul that I ever fished out of that black muck. And I should have thrown you back and sanitized my paw as soon as I laid eyes on you. But it's too late for that. We're in this together. And the gatekeeper, she'll see right through your fake lies as if they were glass. So I'm gonna ask you again to start from the very beginning. And this time, I want the truth.
If that was not the truth, then what is it?
Not this.
Now play the C major chord I taught you. Remember?
Come on, keep blinking. I haven't found it yet.
Doesn't that make you feel happy? Like you just want to jump up and down?
You know, my father once told me,
This. Stay here. What did your mother hear on that phone call? Keep your eyes open. I need to see.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm getting it.
I don't know how well I can
Yes, of course.
see
This is
chat.
Adam's
This
daughter.
is a game that you basically control, and yeah,
See.
yeah, you move the story
She knew
forward
she
whenever you
hadn't yet
blink.
lived up to her father's expectations. And now, she never could. Let's keep going.
You really need to stay in time with the metronome, okay?
You were a prodigal talent.
It's-
I get it. Let's move.
1 knee and a 2 knee and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. This will be eternally indebted.
What did you just say?
This isn't a trip down memory lane. I need you to stay focused. Yes, I understand about the cat. Let's keep going.
So apparently, in this afterlife, oh man, I'm keeping
Let's try
something
this again.
from like the entity that runs the place, and from this the ferryman who is delivering me to there. Basically just went through my whole life. I was a famous painter. But I guess that is not the whole story, maybe. Or a lie or something. Oh no!
The death of those cats must have taught you a terrifying lesson. That simply being alive wasn't enough. So then you went to work to make yourself sensational.
Listen to him, Richard. I'm enlisting him in that competition.
I thought you said competitions took the joy out of playing music.
Not if you win. When we get back, let's wake Dad up and go down to the beach. What do you say? I want to celebrate. Smell that air. It's such a beautiful night.
I get all this.
And I'd find you adorable if only you didn't piss me off so much.
Hey, Elle, would you mind taking a quick walk with me down to my office?
Come on, keep blinking.
We can focus him. Make sure he's staying engaged.
Can you please try to speak a little softer? I really don't want him to hear us talking about this.
I need to hear what they're saying. Really try to recall
what's the point?
What do you mean? What's the point? What does that mean?
What's the point of any of it? If he's never gonna get any better.
Okay. Let's not say that. Okay? We know we don't mean it.
I know I don't. I know.
I mean, what if he heard one of us saying something like that?
I'd never forgive myself.
It's okay. He's asleep. But it's okay.
I see. You got sick. You howled at the moon at the top of your lungs. You were sick for a long time, weren't you? Sicker than healthy kids are supposed to get? Well, no matter how painful it gets, I need you to remember. We're almost at the end of this.
This isn't video game time. I want you to figure out something actually productive to do while you're home from school. Try writing with it. Well, hello, Benny. It was your grandfather's, but I used it in college to write lyrics. Exactly. It was very artsy. Actually, I was just good at fooling your dad. Made him think I was some kind of genius. Why don't you write the story of your life so far? And then what you're going to do once you get better. That's the story I want to hear.
Yeah, this game is very... It's very effective, I should say. I kind of have not been talking a lot because just very... It's very engaging.
The only thing he truly cared about, even more than his best friend, Chloe. Best friend? Okay, Benny. Is that why you didn't sneak out with me? Why not just tell me? You do realize I waited for you out in the alley for like an hour, right? Ugh. So anyway, back to the story, I guess. He'd loved finger painting as a child. Color and shape were the first languages he learned to speak.
You are going to be in there for about 30 minutes, so try to get comfortable.
Oh.
You're doing great, buddy. Just a little longer, okay?
Knock, knock. You're gonna be so annoyed with me, but I couldn't help but overhear Chloe reading loud from what I think was your story the other night. I know. I promised myself I wouldn't eavesdrop, but I would really love to read it if you'd let me. What do you say? You know I'm such a big fan of anything you do. Can't.
Just go in there and tell him you loved it.
I'm sorry, I just can't. Not right now.
Okay, don't worry. Just go to bed. I'll talk to you. Hey, B. Just want you to know that Mom loved your story. She's just, I think it was just very emotional for her to read. But I thought it was great. I mean, look at this. His childhood was a lonely one, growing up a strange and quiet child in an isolated seaside town. I mean, I'm certainly bummed you feel that way. But what I want to know is, where'd you...
Oh, man. Oh, no. God, this is a bummer. I do. I'm fighting the hardest I've ever been. I have ever had to keep my eyes open.
So if he's ever in pain, all he needs to do is press that red button and the drug will administer itself.
Thank you so much. You know, I know my wife would normally want to thank you herself.
No, I understand. It hits mothers the hardest, this sort of thing.
Thank you for understanding. It's been a rough one. Hey, Eddie. Yeah, hey man, it's Richard. Listen, I know Elle's been missing in action, but I just want you to understand things have taken a really bad turn here. Yeah, no, that's not going to be possible. To be honest, your whole tone is pissing me off right now. Yes, I understand you have a business to run. It's a very cliche thing to say to me in a time like this. Okay. Well, then I guess all I can say is screw you too. I said screw you too. Yeah, man, that's all I got.
Hey, this isn't funny, you know? What, you're too scared to talk to me? Well, just so you know, I know you're faking. Because if you were really sick, like actually sick, you'd have told me already. I happen to actually know about this stuff. So the fact that you are faking just so you don't have to go to school with me is actually ridiculous.
I remember when you were just 4 years old. Mom was going through a pretty tough time. I mean, not as tough as now, but yeah, her music had been rejected, and she's having trouble adjusting to her quiet little life out here, and I feared that I was losing her. But then you played this on the piano, and just your little hands reaching up for the keys. She just couldn't believe how gifted you were. And once she heard that, well, it was like you brought her right back to me. So, I was wondering if maybe you could do that trick again. Try closing your eyes. See if you can remember.
Wait, that's my piece. How did you figure out how to play that?
Yeah, they were a lot more endearing in the first half. But I mean, Chloe's a child, so I get it.
Keep playing.
Children kind of suck.
She's listening.
Kitty.
What are you doing, Elle? She's gonna make you sick.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just so happy she's here. We've got to show this cat some real love. She's been through more than we can even imagine.
I don't know. I still like everybody. Everybody's got some stuff they're going through.
She hasn't been over. Like, she didn't even care to visit?
No, I mean, I don't think he's told her.
And you're just letting that be?
I don't know her step. You know how Benny is.
She lost her mother a year ago. You knew that, right?
No, but what does that have to do with...
Okay, do we have her dad's number?
I don't know. Check the book.
Okay, I'm calling now.
Honey...
Oh my my god, you're an idiot. You do realize this is really nothing special to me. I've seen this all before. I was thinking about what you said in the story the other day and how I reacted to it. I feel kind of bad. I shouldn't have done that. But hey, what are you looking at? Don't look up there. Look at me. I'm talking to you. I want to give you something, but I think I don't want to be in the room when you see what it is. So maybe if you close your eyes, I can give it to you and I'm gonna leave. Close your eyes now, okay?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's something new I'm working on.
So you're writing again?
It's just a melody that came to me. It feels good to play it.
It's sad.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. But do you like it?
I mean, yeah. I love everything you do.
What do you like about it?
Not this old trap.
Go on. I'm waiting.
Well, it made me feel like if the unspeakable darkness I'm carrying can be so well expressed, maybe it's not so unspeakable. Nailed it, didn't I?
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty good.
It's okay, Benny. I understand. There's no need to show me anymore.
No, Richard, it's like I can't breathe. Like there's this clamp on my chest.
I know. It's okay.
You know, for a while now, I've wondered if I'm just not a good enough storyteller. If I just don't have grand enough words, can't tell grand enough stories. But grand words and stories, I think they may be overrated. I know just what to tell her. Watch for her now. I've seen the gatekeeper take many forms depending on the soul I bring her. But once you see her, you'll know. Believe me. I should go get ready. Don't worry. We got this. I think. she is. Wish me luck.
Gatekeeper, before you sits the soul of a child who died before he could grow old.
That means she's ready to hear your story.
You know, I never told you how much I loved your story. It's really so imaginative, and the person you wrote about is such an interesting and intense guy. My only issue was, well, I didn't like him very much. So, I wanted to read you something I wrote for you, which is about the Benny I've known for 11 years now. It's called The Great Life of Benjamin Brynn. Benjamin Brynn was born into an ordinary home, to an ordinary mother and father in a small town by the sea. His mother was a
Composer, or at least that's what she dreamed she'd be. So, when her own dreams didn't pan out, she began to dream for him. But
when he was just 11 years old, he got sick and was forced to stay inside for an entire year. And in that year, he began to worry that he hadn't lived enough. So he made up a story of the great life he thought he wanted to live, which only made him
forget the great life he
had. How he had filled the new home with light and joy and promise. How he met a girl, his neighbor, who felt all alone in the world.
And he made her feel okay again. And how, even when he was sick, he still gave his parents hope. How he reminded them of exactly who they were after they had almost forgotten.
So when he knew he was going to go, he was okay. Because he'd already lived a great life, a full life. And he was everything he needed to be, just as he was.
She accepts. Close your eyes now, and keep them closed. She's gonna let you in. Go on.
Why is he smiling like that?
What to do?
It must be somewhere that he likes.
I wanna be somebody. Me 2.0 for you. And when you meet somebody,
That was pretty good. I'm very easily affected by just emotions. Well, I knew this game wasn't very long, and I had kind of a fun double feature planned, but it's, I think I may call it. I need to go process some stuff. That was really good. Really liked it. Yeah, anything else I try to immediately play after this may not jive well. Need to do a reset. So, the kind of fun idea I had was I was gonna play this and then start another game called The Veil, which the kind of premise behind that is that you don't need to see it all. Like, it is specifically like you cannot see. And like, I heard that and I was like, that sounds amazing. I should check that out. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Oh, it's all good. And, yeah, I think you should watch the, like, first half of the game, because I feel like... I don't know. I like everybody. I like all of the characters. They're all okay. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's it's kind of funny, this very emotional, serious game, funded partially thanks to Professor Dicklesworth. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. I know, right? That's pretty good, right? Yeah. I don't know. I hope the like audio crackling is only on my end and not actually coming through on stream, because that's gonna make the VOD kind of annoying to watch. I don't know. I may not even archive this because honestly, I did not talk much, so... Okay, cool. I think I need to start investing in a new computer, because this is, like, 3 years old-ish. And honestly, I don't take very good care of it, so... Part of it is on me, but... Yeah, I don't know. Or wait, no, it's older than that. It's like almost 5 years old. Forgot what year I was in. Oh shit, Wooly Madden. Nice. Cool. Alright, nice. Well, hey, thank you for stopping by. Much appreciated. Sorry, it was kind of a short one today, but yeah, I don't know. I like these little bite-sized games. Can get through it in an afternoon. unintentionally, I think Jacob Geller also made a video about this game. So it is not all on me. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And yeah, guess I'll see you next time. Bro, he's like killing it. He just has all the interesting takes. Knows all the spots. Yeah, I'm getting out here. Have a good one. Take it easy.